Howdy y'all, it's Chris with SWOT Fitness, the only trainer you know with a belt buckle. Today in class what we did is we went over SWOT goals. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Today is February 3rd, and it's a significant day due to the fact that the average person quits their New Year's resolution within 19 days. 19 days. They say roughly 21 to establish a habit. Why is that? Why do so many people fail? Here's my challenge for you. This week, today, ask the person next to you, what are their New Year's resolutions? Most people probably already gave up. The worst answer, I think, is, oh, I don't do those. Why not? Why don't you want to be awesome? We should be making New Year's resolutions every month. I don't call them New Year's resolutions, I call them SWOT goals. So these are my aspirations for the week and month, and every month I'm going to sit down on a Sunday and I go through how I did. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at, this is partial SWOT Fitness, partial Chris Hitchcock. So our strengths, our goal was to hit $25,000 in revenue in Santa Monica. We hit that. We projected lower, but we figured it out. Most importantly, we didn't come up with excuses, poor me, victim mentality. We showed up and we got it done. 9 students. January 28th was our largest class, our largest internship. I started out almost 2 years ago with 1. Now we have 9 and we're going to continue to grow. Next class, April 1st, I'm shooting for 15. Strengths continued. Business plan. I've given my business plan for SWOT Fitness and our growth opportunities and where we want to be with more schools, more internships, and more gyms. Every single person I've given to, blown away because of our internship. That's how we're unique. We're disrupting the industry by not wanting our trainers at SWOT Fitness to get certified. I don't want SWOT Fitness trainers to get NASM certified. If you talk to any of our trainers here, none of them are NASM certified. And that's for a reason. It's to educate people that you do not need that piece of the paper. What you need is education and understanding movement, the size principle, force velocity curve, and how to properly assess someone and make a program for their goals, not how you train. I'm a kettlebell trainer. No, I'm going to take you specifically through what your goals are, and we're going to help you get those results. Personally, I got 10 sessions. I haven't trained 10 times in a week, couldn't tell you how long. And so I'm starting to charge a little more, and I'm excited because it pays off at the end of the month. And so those are the strengths that I have. Now here's my challenge for you. Your strengths always need to outweigh your weaknesses. I consistently see people put 8, 9, 10 weaknesses. They focus on the negative. No, that's not the purpose of this. This is to celebrate where you're doing well, weaknesses, but also don't be ignorant. You know, you can't just turn an eye. You need to have some type of accountability. Lack of ubiquity. SWOT Fitness is not a household name. That's something that I'm constantly working on. Networking, going out to restaurants, going to Equinoxes and Crunches, talking with trainers and managers. So when SWOT Fitness is heard or they see that little brand, they understand that that's where trainers go to get trained. They make the best trainers, but then they also have trainers and training pricing, and they compete with Equinox for their training. Girl power. We have 2 girl trainers, and we have over 11 total, so we need to work on getting more girls as trainers. And that's just part of the kind of the industry. About 70% of trainers are male, and something that it's really cool to see with our current class that we have a 5-to-4 ratio. So as we continue to grow and knock off that lack of ubiquity, and people understand if you want to become a trainer, you need to go SWOT Fitness, we're going to get more female trainers, and we'll be able to place them at our gyms. 1 book every 5 days. I failed miserably. I got 3 in the month of January. My goal was to get 1 every 5 days. So I don't cry. I don't beat myself up. I look at this and say, how can I do better? How can we get more exposure? How can I get more girl trainers? How can I continue to read? So I go back to the drawing board, and it's okay. One of the things I did not do very well was walk every day for an hour and read. And if I were to do that for the next week, I guarantee I'm going to get through a book every 5 days. Where are our opportunities? Trainers in training. Our unique business proposition is the internship, where interns can go through the program 4 months, 2 or 4 months, and you could potentially train while you're in class to pay off that tuition. We could potentially offer school an internship for $500. Our competitors are charging $7,000 for 6 months, $8,000 for 8 months, $16,000 for 2 years. Imagine how we could disrupt the fitness industry by charging $500 for an internship. You go to school, you're going to learn anatomy, physiology, business development, online training, nutrition, all of that on top of training real clients, and you can potentially get paid while you're going to school. It's pretty awesome, and that's what we're trying to do. I've had 2 students that have gone through the internship, and they actually got paid. So they didn't pay anything. They paid off the total amount, and they got paid while they're in class. So that's a huge opportunity, branding awareness. So you see a lot of the weaknesses will be opportunities, and so we constantly focus on this, giving out more shirts, sending out my book to people. People need to be aware of what Show Up Fitness is capable of doing, and branding awareness, maybe hiring someone, getting someone on our team, social media is something that we're working on right now, where how awesome would it be where students, when they come through the internship, if you had 1,000 followers, we could help grow that 1,000 to 5,000, 10,000, and potentially get you some brand deals. More importantly, making money online. If you are a trainer right now and you do not have any supplemental income coming in via online training, that's a huge opportunity. So you got to take advantage of that. So we want to be able to develop trainers, not only one-on-one, maybe online, or trainers out there that are currently certified, not optimizing those returns. So these are our opportunities. Threats, NASA. And not just NASA, it's more any certification, because they're going to have the resources to potentially grow fast. National Academy of Sports Medicine, they have a lot of certifications. We're going the opposite way. We do not want to have certifications. It's just a piece of paper. If you want to train at a Crunch or an Equinox of 24, you need that piece of paper to take the NASM. Our interns that go through the Show Up Fitness internship, you get a NASM book if you want to. Most importantly, you get an anatomy book. But if you want to pass an NASM, we have like a 99% success rate. We have a study guide that I teach you what to study, what not to study. So for example, don't read chapter 3, don't read chapter 4, don't read chapter 8, don't read chapter 17, 18, 19. You don't need to read those because they're not going to test you on it. I've taken that test many times personally. I've had a lot of trainers in training pass it. Lack of community and communication. Those are 2 C's. 3 C's actually. Community, communication, complacency. So our threat is if each gym loses the community feel, that's one of the big draws that we have from big corporate gyms. You want to go to Show Up Fitness because you feel comfortable and it's smaller and you have that personal touch. A lack of communication as well. Or if I have a trainer over here and I don't like the way he trains, or he's too loud, or he's messy, lack of awareness, and I bottle that up, sooner or later it's going to explode, and the people in the gym are going to see that negative energy. You just kind of wear it. So one of the things that we work with our managers is really being crystal clear and communicating thoroughly. I don't want there to be any ambiguity of how much money I'm making or other trainers. It's very clear, and that's all via communication. All of our trainers at Show Up Fitness know where we want to be. We want to have 2 internships. We want to open up one in San Diego, one in San Francisco. We want to open at least 2 more gyms this year. It's very clear what our purpose is. At a big box gym, it lacks clarity. Ask a trainer next time you go to a Crunch or an Equinox, what is that gym's long-term purpose? What is their goal, and where do you see yourself within that company? Most people have no clue. And so then why are you working for that brand? And then we look at the disruption in the toxicity in the fitness industry today. It's due to the fact that you go to a corporate gym, you work, you slave your life away, working 60, 70 hours a week in lieu of what? You get a paycheck, cool, but are they looking out for your long-term health? Are they getting you at the proper education you need to continue your drive for success? They just want those training sessions, and they're paying you 30, 40%. So Show Up Fitness, it's 50%, and everyone knows where our long-term goals are because we communicate very, very well. And complacency. Being okay with mediocrity. That's not what we're about. Every single one of us should strive to be the best we can. I love that Socrates quote about one of the biggest regrets, I'm not quoting this verbatim, but one of the greatest regrets of mankind is not seeing what the body is capable of doing. Like, how crazy is that? You go through life not knowing what the physical being is capable of. That's why I love setting PRs, bench pressing and squatting and deadlifting and hip thrusting and pull-ups, farmer's walks, whatever it may be, that exercise, challenging yourself, because it's really neat to see what the body's capable of doing. So here are your SWOT goals. We have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Do this every week, do it every month, do it every quarter. Give these to other people. Accountability is huge. I do not want to see the weaknesses down here. Even at the least 3 weaknesses, you have to have 3 strengths. And then what you do is you reflect on those weaknesses and make those opportunities. Your opportunities can be short-term and also be long-term. Don't get too clustered. 5 strengths, 5 weaknesses, 10 opportunities, 10 threats. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. So these are SWOT goals. I challenge you to get out of your comfort zone by giving this to someone else. Hell, you can send them to me, and I'll give you some suggestions.